What is up, people? What's cracking? What do we got? Bobs and Weaves, of course. What's up? Eon, what's up? Legacy, what's up? Seth, what's up? Look who happens to make our acquaintance.
Tutti frutti. Tutti frutti. Tutti frutti. Tutti frutti. Tutti frutti.
Sorry. What's up, Isaiah? GQ? You GQ, brother? You GQ? I hear you missed a GQ smooth now. What's that from? Shane, you might know that one. Nobody else in here will know that one. The rest of these dudes are too young. You missed a GQ smooth now. I get some discount on some clothes at the mall. You like? I don't think nobody's gonna get that one. Yo, Marco, play. Y'all must have forgot. Only when no, Shane. Yo, cheers. What's up? TX is into his house. What's cracking? Corsario. That's a gangster ass name. Corsario Aguirre. Let me see that picture. That's a female. I doubt that's you. Is that your girl or something? Juice. No, Shane, it ain't from Juice. Other hood movie from right around that time. Loma for the first 8 or 9 rounds. KO, then nah. Low. Was good, Low? Low, you wanna jump on? Was good. I didn't watch the Tevin Farmer fight. I Marco'd the fight. Yo, let me tell you something. That's what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? You got limited time. I only got enough capacity in this bald head of mine for the important fights. So you gotta Marco it. You Marco it, you still get the recap, you get the picture, you could commentate on it, you could analyze it, and you save time. In a New York minute. No, man, that's from fucking Boys in the Hood. When Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character worked at the mall. And they were like, yo, I heard you working at the mall. I heard you missed a GQ smooth now. I think that's that. Is that from that? Or is that from Juice? Am I bugging? I think it's from that. Whatever. Whatever. Lo, you want to join? Let me know. Let me know, brother. What's up, Alberto? Boys in the Hood. You should get a soundboard of that. I could, but I don't think anybody's going to get it. But I'll tell you what I do got a soundboard of.
Y'all must have forgot.
That. And I'll tell you what else I got a soundboard of.
Hadouken!
Shit, that's what Tank was hitting Frank with.
Hadouken!
He waited a little, let Frank get comfortable, and then
Hadouken!
that was it. You should get us. Let's do a boxing trivia on West Coast fighters. Why the fuck would we want to do that? Well, we could do it, but why the fuck would we want to do that? I guess Lowe doesn't want to join. Oh well. Tank will walk down Loma, or Loma will walk down Tank. You drunk? Will Loma walk down Tank? Or will Tank walk down Loma?
Look at me! I'm the waterboard, dude!
Tank walks people down for a living. He should get a leash because he'd be walking everybody. Or what's the term you kids use? Dog walking? You've seen the WBC order Shakur Zapata. Zapata's a bad boy. Zapata's a bad boy. He tries to stay in the pocket with Zapata. And
Shucky ducky quack quack.
there he is, the contrarian pugilist. Tank will stop Loma if Loma doesn't stop Tank. That, my friend, is what we call cop out. Can't just pick both in one sentence. Fuck kind of shit is that? Might win, might not win. What are your thoughts? Who's going to take this? One of them might take it. Send the link in a few minutes. All right. There he is. Charles Remington III. What up, leg? Shakur still wins by unanimous decision versus I agree. I don't know. Oh, no, I don't agree. Wait, no. You know what? That deserves the first.
Get the fuck out of here!
Of the day. Zepeda's basic. Basic? 80. Hold on. Let me just, before I talk. I'm saying it's something like 31-0, 28 not like he's like an 80% knockout ratio. Is basic. Let me just double check this. No, not Jose Zepeda. When you look him up, it pops up with some fucking Jose Zepeda. William Zepeda. There it is. And it's not popping up. Hold on. Now I gotta look it up. This is taking me forever. There we go. All right. William Zepeda Segura. 31-0. I was correct. 27 knockouts. I was almost correct. So he has an 87% knockout ratio. 87% over 31 fights. Been pro since 2015. 9 years. 87% knockout ratio. And you call him basic? You call him basic?
Get the fuck out of here!
Basic. Did you hear what I said? 87% knockout ratio.
Open your fucking ears, jackass.
This fucking guy. Tank gonna stop him in the 9th. Drop the link. Let's get the panel with everyone. All right. Fuck it. Let's do that. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Marco, do you know Trump got shot? Yeah, I don't live under a fucking rock, Seth. Yeah, I know. This Loma toughest fight by far. Killer B. What up, Killer B? Oh, a typical Mexican fighter. Oh. Damn. Well, you know exactly what comes with that.
Oh, that's racist. Oh, that's racist.
Damn. Eon, man. Don't hate Mexicans. Love everybody. Voice effects are legendary. Sound effects, but I know what you're saying. Marco, do you know the Titanic? What's the Titanic? No, we're just fucking with you, Seth. I actually hate politics. I don't follow it. But, all right, let's put in. But, yeah, of course I know he got shot. I mean, how do you. Although, I will say, they're not covering it. Although I don't really watch news. But they're not. I'm not hearing as much about it as you think you would have heard. Maybe because everybody kind of expected it. With everybody dying and getting shot and fucking necks stepped on and all the fucked up shit that's happening over the few years, I guess it's not that much of a shock to people, maybe. I don't know. Who's your favorite fighter right now? You got to pick 3. All right, I'll pick 3 right now. You ready? Here's the first one.
Y'all must have forgot.
Here's the second.
Y'all must have forgot.
Third one.
Y'all must have forgot.
Oh, you didn't mean all time, did you? My bad. Boxing would be a lame without Mexicans. A lot of things would be lame without Mexicans. Let's be honest. Good people. I love Mexicans, but bro, come on now. He just head then came forward and throw 100 punches. Okay, I get it. So I guess that proves your point.
Oh, that's racist.
No. What I'm trying to say
that's
is that,
racist.
Nah, man.
Oh, that's racist.
Okay, fuck it. It is what it is. Roy Jones is my top 100. Word?
You fucking sneaky bastard.
Is your top 100? Shit.
You lousy cocksuckers.
Is that you, Regis Pro? Yo, Casanova's on a roll tonight. Top 100 is OD. Yeah, he's trying to piss me off, is what he's trying to do. So, do you like Lil Wayne? You must have been watching me on The Boxing Voice today. I do not like Lil Wayne. Matter of fact, I couldn't. If you like blindfolded me, well, I guess you don't need to blindfold me. But if you did a sound test, I wouldn't be able to tell you one Lil Wayne song. Wasn't he a part of like, so you're working with some ass here, some cash here, the Cash Money dudes back in? Was he part of those dudes? Or am I just being like a Southern ignorant, thinking all Southern shit sounds the same? Oh, you ready now? Do Regis like Mexicans? I don't know. Damn, what's with you and the Mexicans? What up, Larry? Hot Boys. Oh, whatever. Who the fuck knows? All right. I'm going to send the link. Invite. I'm going to put it right here in this chat. Matter of fact, I'll put it here. And then I will pin it somehow. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I went to my new house today in Connecticut. Shit freaked me out. Freaked me the fuck out. You guys know I'm moving, right? Went to that shit today. Mad quiet. Like, mad quiet. Oh, cat. Get out of here, you clown. Mad quiet and too quiet. Trees, shit was weird. How you been, bro? Chilling. That's not my cat. That's my wife's kid, my kid's cat. It was a Hot Boys, right? You working with some ass here. Wait, so was Lil Wayne part of the Hot Boys? I don't even. Wasn't he part? Wasn't, from my memory serves me, Lil Wayne was part of a clique of some kind. Then he broke off and did his own thing, or no? Was he always on his own? Fucking no. He was, right? Marco bought 50 Cent old house in Connecticut. Yeah, I wish. That was Mike Tyson's old crib. He was part. So who was he part of? What up, Joe? What up? Eon, the type to ask Marco who wins a fight if Mexican fights a non-Mexican. Nah, man, you guys should chill off Eon. Eon's a good dude. Eon is a good dude.
Oh, that's racist.
Come on, guys.
Oh, that's racist.
All right, fuck it. It is what it is. Wayne's a hot boy. Wayne's a hot boy.
Tutti frutti!
You just call you said Wayne's a hot boy?
Tutti frutti!
Chicka.
Tutti frutti!
All right. There's Low. What's up, Papa?
Yo, Marco, what's good, bro?
Chilling. What's cracking?
Yo, man, let me tell you, I went to the Boots Hennis fight over the weekend, and I'm gonna tell you right now, as a star in Philadelphia, he definitely arrived. That place was electric. That place was electric, man. I've been to the Barclays Center when Danny Garcia fought. I've been there when Zab fought, but I'm telling you, Boots Hennis had a crowd in there like crazy, man. It was electric in that place.
So why you think he kept getting fucking pot shotted the whole fight?
Well, a lot of people fail to realize that Cav Velasquez is pretty decent in terms of his accuracy. People forget that he was knocking Terrence Crawford's head around that ring a lot too. Crawford.
Here's the thing. I heard. I don't remember seeing that. You know me with the. I don't even think I've ever seen that whole fight. But I heard that Crawford beat him easier, right? But then somebody came on here and told me that they landed almost identical numbers. So Cav Velasquez landed the same amount of punches on Crawford as he did on Boots. I don't know if that's true or not, though.
Well, I'll break it down to you. I seen both those fights, and me and Troy King did a film study on that. It was a similar fight. What I will say, Bud Crawford was more poised to the point where when I first watched that fight, I thought Bud Crawford looked a little slow, right? But Troy broke it down to me. He was telling me about when you're in there with somebody that you can do whatever you want, you're going to slow down the pace because you're going to place the shots which made a lot of sense. But not Kavalauskas, Avanesian, he was landing some good shots on Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford knocked him out with a good. It was a right hook, right uppercut, right hook combination, put him to sleep.
Yeah,
The difference with this, yeah, I think Bud Crawford was more calculated in how he broke Avanesian down. Boots Ennis looked a little excited, being that he was fighting in front of his home crowd. But both,
here was my problem though with Boots, right? Not problem, but what I noticed. I shouldn't say, because first off, he didn't look as explosive, or he didn't as he usually does. His speed and his power looked a little less, looked a little lackadaisical. But more than anything, his defense. Like he does some slick shit. He'll even showboat, spin around, move, duel. He was just sitting there and getting clipped, and he kept getting clipped repeatedly with the overhand looping right. Now, I know what you said. Troy said something. I think that's what you said. As a fighter myself, I know what he's talking about. Sometimes when we're in there against somebody and we feel their shot, and we're like, all right, I'll take one of these to give my own, no problem. Sometimes that happens. So I don't know if that was part of it. I talked to Greg Hackett. You know Greg? You there? I don't know where he went, but Greg Hackett is a Philly dude, great boxing line.
I'm here. You hear me?
Yeah,
Let me know if you hear me.
I hear you now.
Yeah. I know Greg Hackett. I went to his gym one time. Go ahead.
Okay, so Greg was telling me that he believes that Boots was maybe a little overwhelmed with the love and all the support, because he was saying like Philly dudes usually don't do it that way. I don't know. So maybe he was overwhelmed. Maybe he just wanted to take a couple shots, to give a couple shots, but he was getting pinged way more than we've ever seen him. It clearly, if this dude had Bud's power, it'd be night. But at the same time, if that's Bud, he's not standing in front of him like that.
Well, what I was saying was, Troy King wasn't saying that in defense of Boots. Troy King was saying that in defense of Bud Crawford. Troy King basically wasn't impressed with Boots' defense, because I was telling him about, this was before he even fought kept Boots and Avanesian. I was telling Troy, yo, why Crawford looks slow in there? And that's what Troy was telling me. He didn't say that about Boots. He said that about the Crawford performance. With me, I'm in the boat with you in terms of, I feel Boots was a little excited being.
You got muted again.
What about now? You hear me?
Yeah, now you're back.
What's the last thing you heard me say? Because I'm outside walking to my crib.
You got excited.
Yeah, he was excited to fight in front of his crowd. Now, what I do like about Boots, unlike a lot of today's young fighters that carry on immaturely and start going on Twitter and rants and everything like that, not directed towards anyone in particular, but there's a lot of them that do that. Boots Ennis got on Twitter and said, in his own words, that it wasn't his best performance and that he's going to go back to the lab and come out better next time. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
He's very mature. I've been around him.
Yep.
I've been around him, and I've been around his dad a couple of times in the gym. They open the doors to me all the time. I want to go there. And let me tell you, Boots Ennis is now like the typical 20-something-year-old guy. Like when we was talking about Ryan with the immaturity, Boots Ennis is very, very serious, down-to-earth, humble dude. Bozy, same thing, straightforward, very disciplined. They don't joke around, but they're good people, man. So,
yeah, I've heard that.
Boots is definitely one of my favorite fighters, bro.
Yeah, I heard that Boots is very, like, stays home, doesn't go party, just all about boxing.
Yeah,
Well, we'll see. It was interesting because two of the best fighters, Shakur and Boots, both looked pretty vulnerable for the first. Vulnerable for them, I should say, which is weird. Back to back.
I think Boots is a more complete fighter than Shakur in terms of offense.
Yeah.
Because of the power, the speed, the explosiveness. Shakur got better defense with his legs. His legs. You know what I'm
with you. Yeah, no, Boots is a better. I actually, I never saw in Shakur what everybody talked about, but I left the door open for maybe it's there, but I never really saw it. But just because I don't see it yet doesn't mean it's not there. But whereas Boots, I saw off Jump Street that there might be something there that's special.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the way that the way they broke the record, I think they did 14.9 thousand in the Wells Fargo Arena. They said that's the most. So it shows that he got star power. What Eddie Hearn should do,
It looks sold out to you.
yeah, it was packed. It was
Okay.
jam packed, bro. And I had a good seat because, well, my seat that I got wasn't good, but I ended up sitting right next to the DJ because I know the DJ. The DJ grew up in my neighborhood, so we ran into him. So we were sitting right with the DJ, hanging out, chilling, man.
You drove down.
Yeah, I drove down.
How long did that take you?
For me, well, usually from my part of New York to Philly, it takes me about hour and a half, a little bit under 2 hours, but there was a little bit of traffic. I started driving to Philly around 1 o'clock. So,
I bet you it took you like 3 hours.
no, hell no, bro. Never. That's ridiculous. No. It took me about 2 hours, 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Where you're from? What? You coming from uptown?
Bro, I live in Chelsea, man. Remember
Oh,
you told me
right.
you from Hell's Kitchen? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from.
I'm
there.
right by the Lincoln Tunnel.
No, I knew we talked about that. But I didn't know that you still live there. Or at least I forgot you still live there.
Yeah, I live in Chelsea. So I drove out here, being that it was traffic, it took me about 2 hours and 10 minutes. Without traffic, I could be in Philly by, I'll say, an hour and 45
I
minutes.
wasn't moving. Like, I'm literally in the process of moving right now. We would have gone out there, but I was like, fuck it, I can't do it. But I got the press. Did you get press passes? You just went out with.
Nah, they didn't approve of it.
Oh yeah.
It was my first time filling out for it. It's not that they shut me down. They just never replied because I sent out the email.
It's weird. I didn't get approved. I got approved for this, but I didn't get approved for Shakur's fight, which was way closer. I would have went to that. That's only like 30 minutes from here. But they didn't approve me for that, which is fucking weird.
Yeah, it was weird because my friend that I went with, his name is Butch. He's an old school dude. He's usually approved to all the events. He didn't get approved neither, so I knew something was up. If they didn't approve him, because he gets into everything.
Yeah. What's up, Eon? Yeah. I don't know, man. Well, whatever though. Like whatever. It's not the right time. Otherwise, I would have gone. But it was interesting. Now we have to see what's next. I don't think. Obviously, Bud is. I don't even think he wants to fight Bud. He kind of made a few comments like, "No, I want to unify 47." So maybe he knows. Maybe he knows that he needs some more experience before he goes through Bud. But the problem is, a couple more years, Bud might be done.
Here's my take on that fight. Right? If I had to make a pick, everything on the line, bet everything on the line, which I don't do, my pick would be Bud Crawford because of his experience, because of his fundamentals. But if Boots Ennis would have pulled the upset, I wouldn't be surprised neither. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you could pick somebody. Like, example, if T.O. fought Tank, I'll pick Tank. But if T.O. beat him, I wouldn't be shocked.
You and me are on the same page. I'm with you.
Now, if Loma beats Tank, I'll be shocked. There's a difference. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be shocked. You'd be shocked.
I would. And I'm going to tell you why. I've seen what Loma can handle, right? Loma doesn't like guys pressing him because he don't fight good going back.
You got muted again.
Let me know when you hear me, bro.
Yeah, you're back.
All right. What's the last thing you heard me say?
Just explaining why.
Loma.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lomachenko doesn't like power and speed. He doesn't like that athleticism that Tank's gonna bring, which T.O. brought. Devin brought it, but Devin didn't have the power. Loma doesn't like body shots. Loma doesn't counter body shots. He just takes them and jumps back. Tank is gonna come forward. Tank fights very good against southpaws. If Tank is fighting smart, he's gonna want to walk Loma down. Let Loma go back. So I see this fight going like this. Loma's gonna move around a lot early. He's gonna give away a lot of rounds early because he's gonna be cautious of the power and speed. Somewhere in the middle of the fight, Loma's gonna realize he got to win some rounds. That's when he's gonna start engaging. He's gonna have his moments. I can see Loma piecing Tank up, landing good shots, winning some rounds. But because of Loma fighting Tank, somewhere within the mid to late rounds, I can see Tank hurting him to the body, and I see Tank stopping him. I say by any time between rounds 10, 11, 9, and 12, I got Tank stopping him.
I literally agree with everything you just said, except that you said you're shocked if Loma beats him, because I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think it's going to happen, but like Loma's at that level of fighter where I'm not shocked if he beats anybody, even though I wouldn't favor him. That make sense?
No, it makes sense. But what I'm saying is, I don't see what Loma can do to win. I don't see Loma winning enough rounds.
He could stay
That's
away
the
with that
thing.
footwork. Ping, 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 ping.
That
And,
that's the problem. Loma doesn't have good. Loma doesn't fight good. As good as his footwork is, he doesn't fight good off the back foot. He's not a Camacho. He fights in angles.
Camacho.
When
Yo,
someone's putting
Camacho's-
pressure on him,
Did you see Camacho's son just reposted? Junior reposted my Camacho video.
yeah, that's one of your best videos, man.
I appreciate it. That's the Boricua and you talking.
No, real talk. Not even that. That was a good video. The way you broke it down, you were saying that Camacho was hip hop before hip hop. You know, his whole swag and his facts, bro. That's the epitome of the '80s.
Do you remember? I forget. You're about my age, right? How old are you?
44.
44. So you're a few years younger, 3 years younger. But do you remember that HBO special? You could grab it on YouTube, but I remember it live where Camacho was fighting and they went into like Spanish Harlem, followed him around. They did a little piece on him.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I seen that. Yo, I seen all that, bro.
So that's what I grabbed the clips from. But I remember watching that live and I was like, yo, this dude is dope. Like, it grabbed me. And yeah, that was hip hop.
Yeah, that was something different back in the day. You see somebody walking around the neighborhood,
all
the
that
gold
shit.
chain. He's walking around, no security, no nothing, just like a regular dude, giving back to the neighborhood. Everybody talking to him still.
Kissing minors on the lips, like didn't give a shit.
Camacho was special, man.
He was dope. He was dope. If he would have fought in the right weight class his whole career, he might have never lost. You know what I'm saying? Like he lost.
And something else too, man. Even though a lot of fighters got their vices, but I think Camacho was very extreme with his. If Camacho would have lived, imagine if Camacho would have lived. I can't say everybody's clean because a lot of them legends turn out to be they had vices, but somebody that was clean was, let's say, Bernard Hopkins, Roy, and Floyd. If he lived that type of life, like a Floyd Mayweather, a Bernard Hopkins, a clean life, oh man, he would have been even greater.
Yeah, but a lot of them. Eon, you're in now. If you want to talk, jump in. A lot of these fighters, what made them great was that fucking loose screw. That you know what I'm saying? That like all the shit that made Camacho probably abuse the drugs and be wild. That's what also made him a great fighter. So you can argue if he didn't have that, he might have not been a great fighter. Same goes with Tyson. Look what happened when Tyson started getting therapy and chilled out. He started losing.
Bro, I was watching the Camacho special they had on Showtime, right? When he had his first real step-up fight. I remember it was against an undefeated guy in Alaska. The fight was in Alaska, and in the documentary, they were saying the night before the fight, Camacho was freaking out. He was in his room. He was trying to jump out the window. He was coked up, and they were all worried about how he was going to be for the fight. And he went in there and smoked the dude's boots in one round.
Yeah, Camacho's at lightweight. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Camacho, I think, turned pro at super feather. Won a belt at super feather. Excuse me.
No, yeah. He I don't know what way he turned pro.
He fought.
But I know his first title was 130. Yeah,
he was fighting at 129. Right. So the Camacho at 30 and 35, I argue that maybe nobody beats that guy. Arguably.
Camacho at 30, let me tell you, he was a phenom, bro. When I remember his world title fight, he fought against a Mexican fighter. He was supposed to fight Bobby Chacon, but that fight got canceled. He fought against a guy named Rafael Bazooka Limon, a Mexican fighter. He fought him in Puerto Rico.
Yep.
Camacho blitzed him, bro. He put him in the corner. He threw some kind of like, you know how Roy Jones, because that's your favorite fighter, right? Roy Jones would throw 4, 5, 6, 7 hooks, rapid hooks. Camacho would do that from the southpaw stance and do it with the right hook.
I got the video of it. I got a video of him doing that in the video that I put. There's a clip.
He lines you up.
Yep.
He was lining him up with uppercuts, and then he took his head off with that straight left.
Camacho is very, very underrated in history. I think one of the bad things about him, because he lost to these dudes later in his career, like I put Trinidad beat him when he was 32 and over the hill. Chavez beat him when he was in his 30s. De La Hoya beat him when he was probably closer to 40. Like, he has these losses.
The Greg Haugen loss was a robbery.
That was a robbery. So Camacho really went undefeated technically for a long time. Like, a lot of these fighters, that's my thing. When I talk about all-time greats, right? Everybody has their own criteria. I only look at the prime of a fighter. But
me too.
But the prime has to be significant. So I don't include a dude like Valero or like Salvador Sanchez because they died so young. We didn't get to see their whole prime. It has to be a prime, but it has to be significant. Now look at Mike Tyson. I don't include Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson's prime was only 4 years. This dude peaked
kind of short.
Yeah, he peaked at 23. So with him, I have to look at his whole career because his prime was too short to be included. But most dudes, you could just look at their primes. But some people look at the whole career. You know, it's all what your criteria is. Subjective.
But you know what else you could add to it too? Longevity. You gotta look at the time
I
that
don't
they
look
overcame.
at longevity because you can, right? But if you look at longevity, then a dude like Hopkins,
That's what I'm saying. George Foreman, for instance. That's what I'm saying. You got to look at longevity depending on what they did later on. If they were able, this is if they did great things. If they were able to last long and bounce back from a loss, that's something that I also put as one of my criteria because a lot of fighters don't really have that.
I get it.
And a lot of them do.
I don't though because doing it myself, I know that your prime for the majority of fighters, overwhelming majority, not all of them, your prime is all it. That's when you show everything you got. And by human nature, naturally by human nature, as you get older, you know this, you're in your 40s, you calm down. And fighting becomes less and less something that you want to do. Because let's not forget, I don't care what anybody says, fighting is not a natural thing that the human body, you can't be in, fight or flight. You can't be in fight all the fucking time. It's not natural. The body goes into homeostasis, has to be balanced. So dudes, as they get older, that's why it's harder for them to keep being in that mind frame. That's why the younger dudes are the crazy ones, fighting at the drop of a dime. We're all
you're right, because example, Oscar De La Hoya when he fought Pacquiao, right? Even though he was drugged, he was already past his prime. He quit in that fight in this corner. Oscar in his prime would have never quit, in my opinion.
Never.
Now when I judge fighters for what they do later on as well, take Duran for instance, right? Going into the Sugar Ray fight, he already cemented himself as arguably the greatest lightweight of all time. Going into that fight
already, yep.
And then after he won, and then after that is when he became more inconsistent. He lost to Sugar Ray, lost to Benitez, but then he came back and beat Davey Moore.
But he
then
also
got knocked out by Tommy Hearns.
Hearns flattened him. Hagler whooped his ass. He got some ass whoopings too, but he managed.
But the Hagler fight was close.
Yeah, but Hagler beat him. Like nobody argues that Hagler lost.
But the point is, that was more of a window. The fact that this is a guy, right, that turned pro at 119 pounds, because I just learned that too. He turned pro at 119 to go up there to 160 and be competitive against arguably top 5, one of the greatest middleweights of all time. So I add that to his legacy, and then the fact that
Duran and Chavez had that they're the kind of dudes that always had a 23-year-old's mentality. Like they'll fight, they'll do drugs, they'll bang young girls until the day they die. Those are those kind of dudes, and those kind of dudes can have longevity. Or a dude like Hopkins who probably doesn't do any drugs, doesn't even drink Coca-Cola. His fix is just working out and boxing. You know what I'm saying? So you have dudes like that, but most people, the body's just not built to take that shit. That's why, your prime really is in your 20s. And now with the advancements of exercise science and nutrition, dudes are peaking in their mid-30s. That's acceptable now, but that's about it. Because when you remember back in the day, 30 was old. Like 30 was retirement talk, not only in boxing and basketball and football, every sport. 30 was retirement talk, but now it's slowly, going up a little.
Well, to defend old school, right? A lot of people when I argue with people about when I debate with people about the old school fighters, and they tell me, well, why they were getting washed up early. My defense is back in the days, fighters were more active. World champions, right, were fighting 5-6 times a year. That's why you had a lot of guys with horrible names on their record because those were tune-ups. But still, you having 5-6 fights a year as a world champion. That means more training camps. That means more sparring.
Yeah, man.
That means more punishment. That means more wear and tear. So that's why those guys were getting burnt out in their 30s.
You guys could box wreck it. Like, if you go back to Sugar Ray Robinson, I mean, he was fighting once a week. But even if you go back to, like, I bet you Duran and Sugar Ray's rematch was probably 2 months later. Like, they didn't wait a year. They didn't wait even 6 months. They waited 2 to 3 tops.
Let me ask you a question. How many fights you had?
Pro fights or amateur?
No, pro.
I had 3 amateurs, but only one was on the books. 2 smokers.
No, how many pros?
3.
Okay, no, cause I was gonna ask you how many you had a year, but you had 3.
No, I only
But
had 3.
now, you know,
The thing with me was I would always go on and off. Amateurs, I had 15.
okay.
Not a lot, but I was, I've been in the gyms since I was 13, but I would always take time off. Like that was my thing. Like I didn't
Listen,
have that drive all the time. I would need breaks.
props to you. At the end of the day, a lot of people from the outside and they would talk junk and they would be like, "Oh, well, you only had such and such fights." They would sit there and argue with you. Listen, go in that ring alone and then fight to be a professional. Props to you for that. Not
I
everybody
appreciate
makes
you,
it all the
and
way.
I appreciate you, but I'll tell you, most people don't say that. Most people, if you had any fights, most people, especially like in these rooms, in the like where you and me, the rooms that you and me go to, the people we talk with, they understand and they respect any fighter. So most people in these rooms they don't think that way. They know, like, look, everybody knows what it's like to get in the ring. Like who hasn't? They know how fucking scary that shit is. Anybody who knows boxing.
No,
But
you're right. Listen,
the,
I never boxed before amateur pro. I sparred. I've been in the gym. Just going to the gym, going
did
to
you
the train. I
spar
still
like
go to the gym.
Lo? Did you spar like only a handful of times or a lot?
Not a lot, but I sparred a few times. And with that being said, I sparred with guys that were like I would say on my level in terms of experience. And then I've sparred with guys that had more experience,
And they worked with
moved
you, or they tried to come
moved
at you?
around. No, they worked with me. The only time I've sparred and it was like it turned to almost a fight. It was early in Gleason's with a guy that was like learning like me, but I was better than him. So we were sparring, and then he hit me hard, and then I remember my uncle told me, "Hit you hard, you hit him right back hard," and it
Yeah.
turned into a little slugfest. But I
See,
got the best of him, gave him.
people don't realize, like, when I was coming up, being one of the, if not the only white boy or one of the only white boys in the gyms, I would get tested a lot, a
Yeah,
lot,
bro.
especially when I go in there with dudes who are more experienced. Because the way it works for those of you watching, when you're sparring somebody more experienced, um, the general protocol is the more experienced dude will work with the less experienced dude, right?
Yep.
But with me, the second I would hit them, and I'm not trying to go at them, because you also, if you're less experienced and you're trying to, and you're swinging for the fences, you're gonna get checked, and that's okay, that's acceptable. They would almost get embarrassed, like this white boy's trying to embarrass me, and they would go at me. So I had to prove myself early on, and I'm not trying to sit here and cry about how hard it is to be white in America. I'm just saying, in terms of boxing,
Nah, yeah,
80s and
yeah, bro.
90s, that shit was definitely a
And let me tell you,
disadvantage.
I learned like in boxing, bro. Like that's why I don't. Well, I never been a person to take anybody for granted anyway. I don't sleep on nobody, but you never go by what a person looks like, bro.
Nah,
I got a friend of mine that he used to be in the boxing. He used to box before when he was younger, and he's someone that turned out to be a real, reputable guy in the street as far as respecting the streets, whatever in the hood. He grew up in Spanish Harlem, and he told me himself when he first went to the gym, they put him to spar with this Puerto Rican kid that looked like he was kind of nerdy with glasses, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna fuck this guy up."
fuck
He
them up,
went
huh?
in there. He told me he got his ass kicked. That humbled him,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
that made him want to train harder and everything
Yep.
like that. So like I said, I seen dudes in the gym, and it's all polite. There's a people polite. But you take people for granted.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I
Yep.
laugh when people be like, "Oh, this." I don't even argue with people. I avoid fights because I know what I
Yep.
can do.
Yeah, we too.
And
But you know
mind you,
what? Like,
yeah,
one thing I learned though, I don't judge a book by its cover, but if I see you throw punches, then I can judge, and that's almost always accurate. Like, I could tell if I see even somebody just hitting the bag, but somebody throwing punches, or if I see him sparring, then I can kind of judge. Okay, this guy's,
I can tell by shadow boxing if you know how to fight a little bit.
absolutely. You could tell by a lot of things, But, and every now and then there is a dude. There are people who I've seen throw punches who look amateurish, but then when they get in the ring, they look different.
They,
But
they understand they understand
like,
distance and everything.
yeah,
Let me
like,
tell you, I used that one time as a defense mechanism. One time I was on the train, right? I'm coming from Brooklyn. I worked at the time at somewhere by Coney Island years ago. And I'm on the train and there's this big black dude walks inside the train. The guy's buff. He's in shape. He had a
right.
tank top, but the guy looked like he had mental health issues. He also looked like he came out the can. So he's
Okay.
going inside the train. He starts walking past everybody, looking at everybody, starts screaming. There was a little white boy in front of me holding onto the rail. So the black guy comes that came inside the train and smacked his hand off the rail. So he's just walking around looking at everybody trying to pick a fight with everybody. So I'm like, ah man, I'm on my way to the gym. I got my bags on me, whatever. So I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do. He want to play crazy, I'm gonna play crazy with him. So I put my bags down. I'm standing right by the door, where you can see your reflection. I start looking into the mirror, you can see yourself through the reflection.
Right.
I'm shadow boxing while he's walking past me. I'm shadow boxing, looking in the mirror, but keeping an eye on him. He passes by me. He looks at me. And he must have not been that crazy. And he thought twice and just kept it moving and kept on going towards the other person because he seen me there looking at the looking through the window, whatever, the mirror,
You were
and shadow
so you were
boxing.
throwing punches. Yeah, that's smart.
I was throwing punches. Yeah, exactly. He seen me. He probably said to himself, I ain't gonna bother this one.
That's smart.
This ain't the one. Yeah,
Yeah. No, that's smart. Yeah, man. That's it's
mind
like
games.
I don't use the fact that I boxed as like I don't use it to act like I know more because there's certain things in boxing that you don't have to have boxed like as to understand, but there are certain things that you do, right? There are certain things that only somebody who's boxed understands way better than somebody who hasn't. But in general, you don't have to have boxed, to understand boxing in general. You're
There's a
muted.
lot to it.
You're back.
You hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, there's a lot to the training, bro. It's the breathing aspect of everything. Because if you in there and you just throwing punches and you're not breathing, you're gonna get tired even more. That's why when I was a kid and I didn't know about boxing, I used to see the boxers punching. Now everybody has their own little sound. Some people just grunt, some people scream. I like to go ish ish. Everybody does what they do, and I always wonder what the hell was that. Yeah, you do that all the time in your videos. I see. Man, that's the gift. Be busting your balls behind that shit all the time. But
Who,
yeah,
Ness,
man.
the
Yeah,
toddler?
Ness be always joking with you. Yeah, Ness.
I said I recently told Ness he fights he throws punches like a toddler. Yeah, he jokes around, but he's giving props. Like anybody who sees me knows that I know what I'm doing. I'm not saying I'm the greatest, but anybody who sees me knows that I fucking have experience. That's one thing you can tell right off the bat.
I saw the video with you and Shannon Briggs, bro.
Yeah. I didn't even hit him hard, and he was like, "Damn." I'll tell you one thing, man. The power. That's why, I get that when I throw fast punches, a lot of comments are like, "Oh, you're pity patting," or people do a gif of like a cat swatting or some shit. And the thing with me is I could punch. I got some pop, and you don't have to take it from me. Like shit, ask Briggs, ask other people. I can hit hard when I have to, but the thing that people need to understand about boxing is you work different things. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you work speed, sometimes you work form, sometimes you work power. It's all a bunch of different things.
Exactly. Like when you're hitting the heavy bag, sometimes it's not always about. Because I got a video where I was hitting the heavy bag, somebody was like, "Yo, why you not hitting it hard, fast, whatever?" And I'm telling them it's about practicing the placement. You want to be able to hit it.
You know what I hear the most? It's so fucking annoying. Keep your hands up. It's like I'm punching a bag, you idiot. You don't think I know the difference? Like anybody who's boxed fights a certain way when there's a human in front of them and when there's a piece of leather stuffed with pillows in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's different. And I was the kind of fighter where I had fast reflexes, so I would keep my hands kind of low. I had good reflexes. So it's like, but people who don't box, those are the ones who mostly make comments to other people's videos like, "Oh, keep your hands up," or "one shot through the middle and you're done." It's like, it's not that easy. Just because you're watching a video on your couch and you see a hole in somebody who's punching a bag doesn't mean that it's that easy to actually throw that punch and land it on that person. And also doesn't mean that person wouldn't move the fuck out the way of the punch that you think you could throw at them. It's goofy.
Yeah.
But whatever.
It's a whole different ball game, bro.
Yeah, no, it is. I box every day. Just I don't spar anymore, but I do it for health every day.
Yeah. Like I said, remember I told you I got a shoulder injury. I had a slight tear in my labrum that goes into my bicep, right? So I started doing physical therapy, but at first I was sitting home depressed for a month, gaining weight. I'm like, man, I can't go to the gym. But then when I went to physical therapy and when I seen what they had me doing, I said, wait a minute, I could do this in the gym. They have resistant bands and everything there.
Yeah, it's simple shit.
They have small weights. Yeah, so instead of paying money out of my pocket to go to physical therapy every day, I go maybe once a week. But I went right back to the boxing gym and I start off with my physical therapy there.
I thought your insurance would cover the physical therapy, but if it doesn't, yeah, you go to one session and you could just, that's all they're going to keep having you do. You just you store it in your memory bank and go do it by yourself.
They want me to go every day, but I already told them, I said, listen, I'm in the gym. Everything you teach me to do, I'm doing it there. I'll come every week or every 2 weeks, whatever. But
Yeah, no, you don't. Yeah, no, you're smart. You don't need to do all that shit. If your insurance isn't covering it, no.
yeah. Only thing in the boxing gym right now, I'm not hitting the bag. Not with my left. I'm hitting it with my right. I'm doing a lot of light shadow boxing,
What gym you go
stuff
to?
like that. I go to Victory Boxing Gym. It's right there on 30. Being that, man, listen, being that you're not even in Hell's Kitchen no more, you would have been right there. It's on 37th between 9th and 10th.
I came up. The first gym I ever went to, ever set foot in, was Kingsway, which is. Do you remember that on 40th?
Yeah, 20. There was one on 28th and Broadway. That you
Not
talking
that
about
one.
the
That
one?
one. That's when they moved. I went to the OG one that was right across the street from Port Authority. That shit
Michael
was.
Elijah was training, right?
Michael Ajay is Michael Ajay Junior is my man to this day. Senior,
knew
the
his son.
father, was the first dude who ever trained me, and Takumba Ajay, man, I came up with him.
Takumba was You're funny you mentioned Takumba. Takumba, when I was in the gym, right? I went there for a little while. Takumba was 16 years old. Takumba was knocking dudes out, bro. Like the
I know. I came up with him.
people used to have to wear body protectors, and growing up, I was in awe of Takumba. I said, man, Takumba's no joke.
He's an example. He hated boxing. That's he started hating it at a young age. That's why he never went far. He had that one loss, and then he just quit soon after.
Yo, I'm telling you, I thought he was gonna be like one of the greatest. I was telling people, yo, this guy's no joke from the gym.
Crazy, right? The speed, the power.
I went to go see the Golden Gloves live. He fought one of Judah's brothers. I think it was Daniel Judah. You know Judah. They got a clan.
Yep.
They got a clan.
Yep.
And he fought him. And I personally thought that Takumba won the fight. He wobbled Judah, but Judah was more active. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Judah won that, but Takumba hurt Daniel Judah a couple times in that fight.
I saw Takumba about 4 years ago at a wake. A mutual friend of ours passed. I saw him there, talked to him for a second. Yeah, he wants nothing to do with boxing anymore. He hates that shit.
He's not even training nobody, nothing.
He didn't want to talk about boxing. I was like, yo, I got this podcast. He's like, I hate boxing now. I'm like, all right.
Wow.
Yeah, he hates it. But I talked to his older brother. I wonder if they're full siblings because Takumba looks nothing like the father.
The father died.
I know that, but they don't look alike. I wonder if they're full siblings.
The brother fought Tommy Hearns. He was blind out of one eye, right?
I know. Yeah. He went blind from a sparring match. He got hit the wrong way. One sparring match. That's all it took. Blind for life.
That's crazy, bro.
Actually, he was half blind. He fought Tommy Hearns while he was blind, and it just got worse and worse, the eye. Now he wears all the decorative eye patches. He's actually the dude that started. People don't really know this. Michael Ajay Jr. started boxing aerobics, made that shit popular, where people were just where he was in front going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a bunch of girls and white collar dudes would just start doing it for exercise. He started that shit in California. People don't. It wasn't Tybo. It was Elijah Day, and then Tybo came after. He was making money doing it too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's cool. It was weird. I met up with him a year or two ago when he was holding the pads for me and stuff. I was fucking his wrist up. I'll tell you that. I surprised people. But anyway, I had a moment where I'm like, yo, this is weird. Like, I started with your father holding the hand pads for me, and now you're doing it. Like at the end of it was crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, but boxing's the best training. You can lose weight there and everything, man.
I know. I tell people that. I tell people like I don't fucking get. Whoa.
Well, Marco.
Oh, what's up, man? You got to mute.
your
Because you're giving us a
feedback.
Oh, there we go. I just muted it for you. Yeah, I was telling people I don't get tired doing anything. Like sports wise, I could play basketball all day. I could run all day. Boxing conditioned me. Like there's something about when you push yourself till the point where you're gonna either throw up and pass out, and you got somebody trying to literally kill you. That takes your brain to a level where like normal shit does not make you tired.
That's a different ball game because being tired is like one thing, like you said. But once you're tired and then you got somebody that's fresh, you're like, ah, man, you're gonna be in for a long night.
Yep, absolutely.
Let me tell you, I ran a marathon before too. I trained for the marathon 2010. I did the marathon successfully. 2010 New York City Marathon. And I tell people to this day, boxing training is harder than marathon training. I always thought that if you could run, you can box long amount of rounds, a large amount of rounds. That's not true.
Yep.
It's not the same. Running is different.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
definitely.
all about muscle memory because you know, like right now, right? You fought professional before. You can go and probably do 7, 8 rounds right now, right?
I do 10 rounds every day, easy.
And mind you, all you doing is doing your little workout in the house. Muscle memory. It's like me. I haven't ran a marathon since 2010. I jog maybe once every week, whatever, little 2 miles. If I really want to go out there and say, you know what, today I'm gonna go out there and jog 5 miles. That's not everybody. Not everybody can run 5 miles.
Yeah,
I
no,
could give you 5 miles right now.
muscle memory is a thing. It's a thing. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I don't even. Yeah, I can go forever. But I mean, I love it. I just do my little 8 to 10 rounds every day. It's enough to kind of. It does its job. It calms. Releases those endorphins, chills me out for the day, makes me feel good. You know, you know how it is. Once you hit your 40s, everybody.
The heavy bag is freaking therapy, man.
I
Right
love.
now, I'm not doing the heavy bag. I'm just doing it only with the right hand. But you get bored just sitting there with just one hand. I like moving around.
I like
And
this
when I
shit.
shadow,
I
huh?
like the Cobra Reflex. That's a newer one. I like that one.
I never really. I always see that's the one that Ryan Garcia made popular.
That one's cool. Like it's basically a double M bag. I'd rather do the double M bag because,
Me
but the
too.
Cobra Reflex is the best alternative if you don't have some like a ceiling to like connect it to.
Yeah.
But my new house I'm moving into, man. I'm gonna create. You guys are gonna see these lives, my videos. It's gonna be. I mean, you're gonna see my gym equipment in the background. I'm gonna deck it out. So I'm gonna get a heavy bag in there. I'm gonna get a real double N bag. I'm gonna have a little home gym because I don't even
You
know if
still
there's.
got the comedy club in Brooklyn?
Yeah, it's my only source of income. I can't do.
Yeah. I gotta
I have
pass by there one day. Next time there's a fight in the Barclay, me and my boys, when we go out to the Barclay, we
anytime you want to,
usually
anytime you want to come by, if you just want to come by and see a show with one of your girl, your wife, whatever you got, whatever's going on, let me know. I'll hook you up.
yeah, say no more. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
usually when I'm out there like doing the fights, for instance, 'cause I don't really go to Brooklyn much, but when I'm out there watching the fight, I pregame in Dinosaur BBQ. That's my pregame spot. Then I go to the arena.
yeah, that's like right by my house. I mean, my
Okay.
house not for too much longer. Yeah, I live right, but yeah, anytime you want to, anytime, man, you come to my place, come to my spot first.
Yeah.
Just let me know. I
Now
think I'm
back
gonna,
to boot tennis real quick.
yeah, go
Before
for it.
anything, boot tennis, the fights I want to see in a perfect world, I want to see them lined up with in this order. I want to see Cat Velasquez
Okay.
because that's a common opponent with Bud and Virgil Ortiz, and he put Virgil Ortiz down, and arguably he put Bud Crawford down one time too. I
Mm-hmm.
want to see that, and then I want to see Blair Cobb, both of those fights in Philly back to back, and then I would like to see him move up to 154 and go for a belt because if he really wants to fight Bud Crawford, in order for him to be enticing for Bud, because Bud ain't gonna fight him right now, but he has nothing to offer.
Uh-huh.
He needs to get a belt at 154, being that Bud is chasing undisputed at 154. So therefore, there will be no reason for Bud to say no because he got something that he wants. That's
True.
what I feel he should do.
True. Oh, I'm with it. I'm with it. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna bounce out of here. I will catch you guys tomorrow. All
Say
right.
no more, everybody. Y'all can follow me too on YouTube, Low Nose Boxing. And yo,
There you
Mark,
go.
have a good one, bro. We'll
Boxing.
get
You
up next time.
IG all that. All right. Peace out, everybody.
One.
All right.